Hello, my name is Socrates, and the concepts presented may offend you. Well, if you follow the Christian faith, they say that he is everywhere. But that is impossible, as we are all frequencies. All manifestations of the radiation starting where radio waves are very short band, where nuclear radiation is long wave, and the frequency that is that light in the eyes is what we are. There is only so much effect to what will, or the basic effect of our operation of the body while we where one is. We can only be where there is not the range to which our frequencies are no longer effective for response. And then we calculate what God is if he is where we wish he was, which under ideal circumstances would be focused on war zones. Think of when you have trouble waking up from a bad sleep and instead of falling back into bed, you died. Now this is equal in most philosophies of the religious books of the world. In that the only sure thing is death and taxes. But what about both as one? That death when aided and strength when needed is distributed by those who aided forests, and the fodder of cannon fire then to calculate who is on whose side. As there is no God that is absolute, as the impossible gift is truly impossible. It is a convention of those who are involved, and only where the victims are free to hold those who trespass to their crimes. Even God for the motivation if in such cases. There as well comes to the question of whether there is a standing relevance to the works electrical engineering that are related to the capacity to create a room for interviews, where if God were to interfere with one's person during an interview, giving strength or weakness to either party, the equation would be ruled out as a factor for if God is in the sky or focused in one plaque. Then the question is, where can we hide from God? Can we say any statement in bad faith would be truly validated when we allow the faith and strength as is depicted by the word nas in Urdu, which means the feeling of confidence, or the shared motivation, or the love one feels when cared about by others? Some call it stage confidence, others just enjoy the vibe. Where I question, is there a way to focus a radioactive frequency in the first dimension to which would abstract or give confidence to those who are deemed societally safe? When one says, where is your God now? Is God up there watching while the Buddha studies? Are there many God who we perceive as one? Is there no God, but the dead and those who are loved simply standing in relation to older dead creators? Does the Creator have say when there is no logical standpoint that gives the innocent an edge? Is not that innocence determines where you are mentally under organic circumstances? As the Egyptians believed that there is a staining of the soul, and that the soul is supposed to await to an eagle's feather. The Buddhists believe that one is to do no harm or feign the afterlife to be hellish. The Jews believe that non-Jews become pigs. The Muslims believe that pigs are so dirty you shouldn't eat them, as if the cows of India hold similar faith to the same reasoning that to have a happy life and dead is to be reincarnated in simple animal. Or is not this the animal that chooses to be observed ourselves as holy animals? That we ourselves hold such rationale sometimes beyond that of God for his considerations, if not in vain, than abstracting from the first huge religion, the worship of Set. Set is said to be the God that watches without taking action. As well that to do no harm from the sky is to interpret while free will is observed. Then as well to look at the dimensions, if so there is a third and fourth dimension. Then it is all stacked upon the first, and all reality is bound the systems that stacked perceptions from that up. That the original sin is sadism. Is not the stain of soul most common to man? That belief that men are superior to women, and as we have seen religion guide men to evil through misconception, then is not the worship of Set simply that of the Buddha? Are we all in the path of the Buddha, or is God truly darkened in his shrines? Are we in the path to become God in attaining wisdom and what can be said of a life? When one chooses to live in such a fashion that denies innocence through the transaction of choices that one doesn't consider consequential, or would contemplate such deed as inconsequential because they are not wise. The premise of epistemic responsibility is not notable, as I do not need to know the law to break it, and or such can still see a cell. Thus is my numbering of the contemplated religions blasphemy. Or is the fact I contemplate as the Buddha part of the simple deification of one as a man? Thanks for listening. Click the like or subscribe buttons to support this channel.